What is money? Money is energy. Money is vibration. Money is the effect and not the cause of abundance. The cause of abundance comes from within us. And this is where, if you're struggling with money and finances, this is where it likely lies, is this idea that if I have money, I'll be abundant. It's be, do, have, not have, do, be. And so the formula is often flipped because we've been trained to think that way. We've been trained to think that if I carry a bucket, I'll get money and therefore I'm abundant. Abundance comes from within. And once we realize this, our whole world changes. If abundance comes from within, this is a spiritual thing. Abundance is everywhere. The law of growth is a universal law, and it's inherent in every aspect of the world we live in, and that includes money. It flows. All the money that ever has been and ever will be is 100% evenly present in all places at all times. And that's a philosophy, and it's about money as energy. And once you get in the flow of it, and you understand how it flows and why it flows, you'll never live the same again. Harvey Firestone said that a man with a surplus can control circumstances, but a man without a surplus is controlled by them. And often he has no opportunity to exercise judgment. So what does he mean by that? It's about options. It's about the ability to have options when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to travel, when it comes to giving. And so often we fashion this as something else. And once the decision has been made to be a have-not versus a have, then all those actions and those decisions are wrapping around that original decision. So in other words, at one point, everybody has made a decision. So this is the core and the center. And once that decision has been made, then all of the rationalizations are there to protect the decision as the ego ideal. It is the sort of person I conceive myself to be. So whether it was done consciously or unconsciously, mostly unconsciously, the decision was made. And then all of those rationalizations are there to protect that identity. And they sound like this: I've never really wanted that anyway. Or it's okay, the cards just weren't dealt in my favor. Or easy for them to say, they have a silver spoon in their mouth. Or those rich are just filthy. And the list goes on and on and on. All rationalizations, because at one point the decision was made, I'm going to be a have-not. And in doing so, the identity was formed around my money image. And once you've made that decision, the ego does not want to change, and will do everything to protect itself from the idea that it's wrong. So it seeks to be right. And not only that, it's a self-image. It will seek out evidence to support the original decision. It's like the ultimate reality concept filter. And this way, it's extremely disempowering unless you know. And that becomes the most empowering thing that you can ever adopt, because you can also adopt wealth consciousness and abundance consciousness and success consciousness. And when you do that, you then protect that identity, and you see yourself as abundant. And then in that way, you protect it, and that identity gets protected as well. And you begin to attract to you the people, the circumstances, and the events that lead to the fulfillment of an abundant lifestyle. I don't care who I talk with. All over the world, it doesn't matter. Most people are seeking the same thing, and they just don't have the words to describe it, or they've hidden it so deep inside of them that they're unwilling to admit it anymore, because that's a defeat in the eyes of the ego. And most people are seeking this. They want to live an unrestricted existence. And what is that? It's the ability to do what we want, when we want, with whom we want, for as long as we want, with zero restrictions at all. But that's not how most people live. Most people live 9 to 5, running the program, hourly or a set salary, and they don't have the ability to truly express themselves in the world because of their limited options. They love to travel and see the world, but they've then decided that that's not for them. It's just not meant to be. And so by deciding that, then everything that they rationalize around it is going to reinforce that original decision. So I encourage you to open your mind up, get back to the beginning place. Ask yourself, what is it that I truly want? What do I want? It's a starting place of achievement. It's desire. Ask yourself what you want. I will warn you, though, that when you ask that question, the paradigm will swoop up. The paradigm is the voice in your head. I fashion it to a whack-a-mole game. You ever played that at the video arcade? I want this, yeah, but. Call them yeah, buts. Yeah, buts, I don't have enough time, money, or resources. Typically those three areas. I want this, I don't have time, money, or resources. You've got to silence the yeah, buts. Ask the question, what do I really want? And feel it now. Feel abundant today. You can never have the money unless you actually can see it and feel it. Abundance comes from within, not from without. As above, so below. As within, so without. There's a reason why we hear these things. Now it's time to start embracing them. If you want to learn more about living an abundant life, a truly abundant life, one that does position you to live an unrestricted existence, to be able to do what you want, with who you want, for as long as you want, with zero restrictions whatsoever. That's the life. That's the life that most people want to live, but they've convinced themselves along the way that that's not for them. If you are truly committed to that, click on the link and I'll walk you through the process of wealth consciousness and creating abundance now, not later on. This life is not a trial run. We get one crack. And so that seed that's buried within you, we've got to unlock that and figure out what it is that you truly want, and then silence the paradigm, replace it with new so you can forge ahead in the direction of your most elusive business and personal goals. Click on the link and watch the webinar that I created on this concept of paradigms and how they keep us gripped where we are so you can forge ahead to a more abundant lifestyle.